Welcome to Engineering Influence, a podcast from the American Council of Engineering Companies, coming to you from our 2022 Convention and Legislative Summit taking place in Washington, D.C. We are pleased to bring you convention coverage made possible by our sponsors, sponsoring the podcast at this convention, Autodesk. Autodesk is changing how the world is designed and made. Their technology spans architecture, engineering, construction, product design, manufacturing, media, and entertainment, empowering innovators everywhere to solve challenges big and small. From more sustainable, resilient infrastructure to higher performing building designs, the Autodesk AEC collection gives every designer, engineer, and contractor the tools to create in new ways, explore what's possible, and build with confidence.
I'm joined today by Joe Romano, the principal of surveying and mapping from Langen. Joe is as a member of the Coalition of Professional Surveyors. Joe, happy to have you on the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So, Joe, can you tell me about the Surveyors Coalition? How'd you get involved with COPS?
Yes. So like all the coalitions, COPS is there to help support maybe some of the subsectors that are within many of the ACEC firm members. The coalition of surveyors or professional surveyors is made up of not just surveyors. There's some non-surveyors as members. My involvement started about 8 years ago. I am also a founding member of an organization called the United States Institute of Building Documentation. And Langen has enjoyed a long relationship with ACEC, but I never knew about COPS until I was looking to connect my USIBD role with some other members or some other organizations that kind of aligned with the same goals. And I found out that COPS existed. I went to a meeting in Phoenix, and the rest is history. Now I'm the chair.
That's great. That's great to see that you were first a member. Now you're the chair, and you've been involved for 8 years. So over that 8 years of time, can you talk about the value that a firm may see for joining the Surveying Coalition?
Sure. Like all these nonprofit organizations, if there's no value in being a member, there's no reason to join. So that has been one of the things that I've stressed as chair, and the rest of the board continues to believe in. For me, the value has been the networking that I've been exposed to and the ability to connect with my peers on a whole bunch of tasks or a whole bunch of topics. One of the big ones for us is, surveyors are not licensed or easily licensed in many states. We have to take a specific test. And the ability to reach into the coalition members, if I have a job, last week, as a matter of fact, we had an opportunity in Nebraska to do some other services where we are not licensed as surveyors. So I was able to reach into the coalition's membership and get a bunch of members that are in Nebraska and help us out. So that's one way I find the value of being a member.
No, it's great to have the network to be able to go and find those licensed professionals. So would you consider that the biggest challenge that's facing the coalition? Are there other things that are happening in this environment that you're seeing as a challenge?
Yeah, and I'm sure if you've done these podcasts all day, I'm sure you hear the same thing. Staff.
Right, recruitment. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to flip that, and I think that's an opportunity as opposed to a challenge. Pretty active in many other societies and in some universities, and I'm trying to flip that to be an opportunity. There's an opportunity for younger people or people without a clear direction to their career to come over to the survey side. We need surveyors. You don't have to be licensed to enjoy a good career as a surveyor. You could be a technician in or out, inside the office or outside the office. There's an opportunity there for people to drive a career that can be both financially and professionally rewarding. So I think while it's a challenge, but you got to look on the bright side of it and try to make some lemonade.
Right. I think we're at that point where I like how you framed it as it is an opportunity, right? It's more flexibility. You don't necessarily have to be in an office environment all the time as well. So thinking more specifically about surveyors, what are you working on? I mean, I know Davis-Bacon and NSPS relationship, and IRWA collaboration, and you also mentioned the USIBD. Is there anything there that we should maybe get an update on or should be talking about?
Well, yeah. So on the business side, the Davis-Bacon Act can have a deep impact on how surveyors are financially paid and rewarded. There's the Davis-Bacon Act that includes surveying. The current version now is outdated. The definition needs to be revised. Right now, it suggests we are laborers and not professionals. So we need to get that cleared up. And I think we will. There's a strong lobby to fix that. It's an issue in some states, not every state, not every job. NSPS, the National Society of Professional Surveyors, that relationship is really an advocacy where they have some more local relationships than ACEC has. And we're teaming together on a lot on the recreational. Beep, beep. On the recruiting side, there's some things that we're trying to do together to start the recruiting effort earlier on in the career. I mean, let's face it, I bet you were not given the opportunity to be a surveyor when you went to your high school guidance counselor.
I was not. No, I don't recall that being on the potential job opportunities coming out of school. So
we want to leverage that relationship together, build on that. The International Right-of-Way Association is long linear projects, and there's a great relationship there for surveyors. All those projects need surveys, and that's about getting some of our members in front of some potential clients, and educating them. And last, USIBD is this, I don't know if you heard of 3D scan to BIM. You might have heard digital twin.
I've heard digital twinning, yes. I'm not familiar with what it exactly means. Maybe you can.
Sure. So it means a lot of things. So we call reality capture. It's meant to recreate a twin of an existing structure, a building, a road, some type of facility, not just spatially, but with information. So if you look at it from a surveyor standpoint or from a reality capture standpoint, you need to have some standards as to the accuracy and how you recreate that. The USIBD was formed to create those standards.
Going back to the recruiting part, and I know you mentioned, surveying was not brought to my attention when I was in high school, probably not yours as well. But it is interesting that in the last general session, I don't know if you were in there when the survey went up and it said, when did you decide to become an engineer? And the highest percentage, I believe, was high school. So the decisions were being made prior to getting to college that potential recruits or new employees are making that decision in high school. So I think it's anything that can be done to propose that as an option is going to be beneficial.
Yeah, and one of the initiatives that we're trying to put on the table is get to the high school guidance counselors. Like I said, one of the other things is we have the coolest technology. We have these 3D laser scanners. We have drones. We have state-of-the-art GPS. We have some really cool graphic-based, almost gaming engine type stuff. And I think if that's leveraged right at an entry position, a high school, if the guidance counselors can show that at the right time, we can get some people to come on over to the good side.
Absolutely. You say lasers and drones, right?
It's what everybody loves.
That's right. So just some more questions, more specifically around COPS. So in terms of business practice publications, things that the coalition puts out to assist surveyors, I know there's a lot going on. Is there anything that you wanted to highlight?
Sure. I mean, when I came on board COPS, I didn't even realize there was this list or library of publications that were free to members or can be purchased pretty reasonably. And there's a list of publications that range from how to start a business to a daily health and safety tailgate meeting to equipments. And it's a whole tip thing that we put together based upon our gray hair experience of starting a firm. There's a health and safety manual, there's recruiting, there's job descriptions. It really helps somebody who's entering management or entering into the business side of what we do to help them to formulate their plan and how to put their business together.
Okay, so it's a full spectrum for those that are entering, or could also be used as a resource for someone who's been in a position a long time and maybe they're looking for a different way to approach a situation potentially. So thinking out a couple of years from now, what like get the crystal ball out, look into, what do you see the COPS Coalition focusing on in these next couple of years? Is there anything that you'd like to highlight or anything that you think we should be talking about right now that will help to guide the future, or just your thoughts?
So as both as within my firm and with inside COPS, I think there has to be more of a focus on almost a business model of how to market the industry as if it was any other brand or any other product on the market. People don't know about it. It's about awareness. Everybody thinks we're the funny person standing in the middle of the street with that camera looking thing. And the only time you interact with the surveyor is probably when you're buying a house.
Right.
But there's a lot of stuff that we do. And I think leveraging technology, leveraging our experience and putting those two together, coupled with the boundary aspect of what we do, is a unique thing. And the goal of the coalition is to keep the services and the tasks that fall under those umbrellas within the professional domain of surveying. I see good things. I think I see good things. People are starting to come around, and I think I'm pretty optimistic that it'll stay that way. Yeah,
and with the job creation and the opportunity, I think you're right. I think there will be that shift back into engineering. And Joe, I really appreciate your time today. Is there anything else that you want to cover, or?
I'm good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was great having you on the show, Joe. This is the Engineering Influence, a podcast from the American Council of Engineering Companies. We'll see you next time.